Hello, everyone. My name is Mikeda Valletta, also known as the Body Scientist. And in case you don't know me, I am a personal trainer, a strength and conditioning specialist, and a dancer with a background in exercise and sports science and nutrition. Okay, and I've been working in the fitness industry for like 15 years now, and I've been a dancer for like 30. Okay, since I was 5. Um, and in the past few years, I've gotten into pole dancing. And so, a lot of you who may be familiar with my work, you know that I do a lot of, I've been teaching a workshop for the past 9 years to women called Sensual Strength Training. And it's all about teaching women how to strengthen our entire body and also get control, rhythmic control over our entire body. So, the outer muscles, but also the deep core muscles. So the muscles that support our pelvic floor and our sexual organs, and really also helping women to step into their sexual power and be comfortable with their sexuality. It's very important for men and women, but for a number of reasons, a lot of times women have lots of issues. But you all know, if you follow me, that I do a lot of work in that realm. And if you don't, I do invite you to check out other videos of mine on my 2 YouTube pages. This one, the Renaissance Amazon, and also the Body Scientist. But in this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I love pole dancing so much, about my sacred pole journey. I've been pole dancing now for 2.5 years. Actually, I started pole dancing in 2011, and after something very traumatic happened, and I used it. It was like a way to something physically and emotionally and spiritually traumatizing. And pole dancing was what I used to kind of pull myself out of it. I did it for a year. I started off at a studio in Chicago called Flurry Girl Fitness. I'm from New York, but I started at a studio in Chicago called Flurry Girl Fitness. And then I remember getting a gym membership to Crunch in New York City, and I took classes there. And those are the 2 main places I remember taking it. Oh, and the studio in New Orleans, which no longer exists. So those are the 3 places that I took. And I remember, a lot of people, they have their ideas in their mind of what they're gonna, step into in a pole class. I got into pole because I've been in fitness my entire, I've been working in fitness my entire adult life. That's my profession, and I've been an athlete and a dancer my entire life. And to me, pole was a challenge. Number one, as a dancer, it was a totally different type of dance form that I'm used to. And then from the strength perspective, it was so much upper body strength. And I ran track. I played basketball, not volleyball. Sorry, I have an obsession with volleyball. I never played volleyball. I played basketball, softball, a little soccer, some fencing, a little tennis. And I also did lots of dancing and involved leg stuff. I figure skated for fun and rollerbladed. So I was always skating and doing things like that. So all of that involved lower body. I was never acrobatic. Never could pull myself up and do pull-ups like most women can't. A lot of men can't either. So I got into pole to challenge myself for that, and also to come out of my shyness, because a lot of people who don't know me, because the people who do know me know that I have a shy side, but a lot of people who don't know me, who see me online, they think that I'm not shy. But there's a lot of people that I look up to in terms of I really want to practice what I preach, because I do teach women to be comfortable. And I'm comfortable with myself. It's just that, as a performer, I can be super, anytime it's time to be sexy or something, or all eyes are on me, I feel like I want to run away. And I'm a Leo, and they say that Leos want to be the center of attention, but I actually don't. I'm used to that happening, but I want to run away from it, actually. But I see a lot of, a good performer, especially a solo performer, because I was used to performing with dance companies, so I had other dancers on stage. Solo dancing is like playing an individual sport. It's all about you. And so I got into pole dancing really to step into all of that, and also because I wanted to continue to teach women. Now, when I got into pole, the studio that I went to in Chicago, and every studio that I've been to, it's so diverse. You see all different kinds of women, black, white, Asian, Middle Eastern, anything you could imagine. Different ages, okay, ranging from 21 to 65. I've had 65-year-olds in my classes. Um, you see women different body shapes, like all different body types. And in pole, in order to stick to the pole, you have to be half naked because you need your skin. So with pole dancing, you have a lot of women who would normally not be comfortable being in a bikini or in a bra and underwear in front of other people. And in pole, that's what you have to do. Women do it. Nobody's judging anybody. And something that I've always known, just being in fitness and having a degree in exercise and sports science, is that just because, like, strength is not really all about a look, Like, somebody could look at me and say, oh, she looks strong, you're like an athlete. Well, athletes look a lot of different ways. It depends on what sport are you talking about. Are you talking about people, throwers? Are you talking about sprinters? Are you talking about gymnasts? Are you talking about swimmers? Are you talking about softball players? Skiers. Like, there's different body types for different types of sports, number one. So all athletes are not cut up. That's number one. Also, just because somebody's cut up does not mean that they are super strong. And sometimes when you have that look that people stereotypically associate with it, like maybe someone could say I have that look, and I am stronger than the average maybe American woman, maybe. That's, but in the realm of being strong, I don't feel like I'm super strong. Like, I have a lot more to go. And in the pole classes I go to, I'm never the strongest person. And the strongest person in the class is never the person that has a stereotypical look that people are looking for. They may have extra chub on their stomach or in their body, period. They may be much thicker. They may be super skinny looking, and it doesn't matter. Like, which I already knew, that's not just about that. Also, every single body, like actual physical body, has a different challenge. Like, women who weigh more have the challenge of having to pull more weight. But for me, like, I have super long limbs, People all my life have said, oh, your limbs are so long, they're so perfect for dancing. But actually, it's not. Most dancers are little people. I'm 5'8", but I have the limbs of like a 6-foot person, okay? So my arms are super long. When I look at women who like just busted out in the headstand, or doing handstands and headstands so easily, what I notice, they usually have broader shoulders than me, and they have shorter, stockier arms. Even when I've seen women who are taller than me, their arms are still shorter and stockier for their body, and their shoulders are broader. So for me, I have these narrow shoulders, these long, thin arms, these long fingers, and then, most of my weight is in my lower half. So for me, trying to balance in a handstand, sometimes I feel like I'm never going to be able to do that. But with pole, it's like the one thing it teaches you is to never say never, because every single body, well, not all, some people have an ideal body, which would be no booty, because when you're like flipping upside down, trying to lift the booty too, it makes it even harder. So if you have a flat booty and broad shoulders and short, stocky arms, and you're not, and you don't weigh too much, you're mostly muscle, then it would be easier for you and shorter, But pole is hard, and different body types have different challenges. And other thing about pole is that not only is it one of the hardest fucking things I've ever done, but a lot of it is incredibly painful. People don't think that by watching it, but a lot of the moves that we do are so painful. And there's a fear factor. There's a fear factor involved in a lot of the moves. Like, there are things that still scare the shit out of me. Also, when we go upside down, you're like totally disoriented, So there's a lot of things about pole that amazes me, because I've seen so many women be addicted to it. And working in the fitness industry, I know how hard it is to get women to commit to strenuous exercise, like hard, painful, like tough, strenuous exercise for long periods of time, unless they have a background in athletics. If she used to be a basketball player, if she used to be a soccer player, or any type of athlete, a lot of times those type of women are already like more motivated, to work hard. But women can be like tough with that. So with pole, I'm like, wow, women are obviously motivated by being sexy, because pole is like not, I mean, it's fun in some ways, but it's not fun in a lot of other ways, because it hurts a lot. And it's scary, but so many women love it. And obviously, it does something for their confidence. Obviously, women do want to feel sexy. And yeah, like, I have gone to so many studios. So what I was saying was I did it from 2011 to 2012, and I stopped for 2 years. and I got back into it in like March of 2014. So now it is October 2016. So you could say it's been about 2.5 years. And within the first few months, like the first 8 months of, within the first few like 8 months of taking class, I got certified. Now I got certified first by an organization called Elevated Education, and the people that created that certification run the studio that I train at in New York called Body and Pole. When I say I train there, I mean I take classes there. And they also started the Expo certification, which pole fitness started in Crunch Gym in New York City, and the company Expo, the main pole making company, they started certification first. So it's the same woman who did the Elevated did the Expo, but there was an issue with it was an issue I'm not going to get into, but Elevated and Expo are very similar. I did the Elevated certification first, and then I did the Expo certification in Atlanta a couple months later. And I began teaching at a studio called Sacred in Brooklyn. And it was a yoga studio that I had taught at before. So I started teaching at Sacred, and after maybe like 6 months of teaching there, they had to unfortunately end their pole program due to some stupid like old New York brothel laws that said that you can't have a pole massage and like girls in shorts in the same place or something. It was something stupid. And then I helped to create a program at a studio in the South Bronx, which basically ripped me off. A place called Sweetwater Dance and Yoga, which the owner and put together this program for her, helped her get the poles, put together fundraisers, got the instructors, put together the schedule, did all this for free. And as soon as the program got launched, she just like low-key, like shady ass, let go of me. So whatever with that place, but I did invest a lot of time in that. And then there was a studio in Harlem that I taught at for a year called the Femme Suite. And that studio was really focused on the sexy. And we did a lot of pole parties, but also individual classes. But still, like, the women that came in there, they were like computer science nerds from Brown University, you know, that flew on the Chinese and went to China for the summer. And, you know, I had girls from Ireland, and I had French girls come in there. Older, you know, black women, Hispanic, like everybody came in that studio. And it's just, women in pole classes are super encouraging to each other. It's not like what people would think. Like, that's the other thing. The stereotype is that women are so competitive of each other and that we're so jealous, but that hasn't been my experience dealing with women. Not to say there aren't jealous women, but I think that is exaggerated so much. I think men compete with each other more. We see it in the gym all the time. I'm actually about to go to the gym now. I'm in the parking lot at LA Fitness. But I just felt like I had to make this video because for so long I wanted to talk about like my passion for pole dance and why I'm so passionate about it. And it's just, you know, it's something that, I mean, 2.5 years, I still have so much more to do. Like, even as I'm still very much a student and will always be. And in terms of teaching, like, I love to teach and I will continue to teach. But I just love the fact that with pole, there's just so many different body types. Women are so encouraging. Women clap for each other in class because we all know that it's a struggle. I've never, no matter what studio I've gone to, I've never really seen like this competitive kind of energy, except for a couple of studios in LA where they were just kind of snooty. But I've been to studios in Atlanta. Shout out to Vertical Joe's. I love that studio and the Atlanta style. I love the Atlanta stripper style. It's like dope. And you can only really find that in Atlanta. Studios in New York, studios in Chicago. I've been in several studios in the DMV area. With the DC area. Where else? Nowhere in the Bay, but I've been in LA. Where else have I been? In New Orleans, no longer has any pole studios really, but there was a wonderful studio I went to there. And I just love like pole instructors, which are different from like regular fitness instructors because they all curse when they teach, all of them. Doesn't matter if they're white, black, whatever, Asian, everybody curses, and it's okay. pole instructors crack really raunchy, funny jokes, and it's hilarious. It's like a certain type of badass wild woman that resonates with that. And a lot of times, the strongest, baddest, sexiest, most fearless women in the class are the ones who are like married with kids who are like middle age. So it's not what people might think. Like, they might think pole classes, and they think like girls that look like strippers, which I have no problem with strippers, so I'm not saying that in a negative way. But I'm just saying people think that it's like that. Or like when I tell my clients, I always recommend dance to my clients, right? Whether it be Afro-Caribbean dance classes, Haitian, Afro-Cuban, Congolese, Afro-Brazilian. A lot of people are intimidated by dance classes because they're like, well, I'm not a dancer. And I tell them, most of the people who go to these dance classes are not dancers. They work 9 to 5s. A lot of them hate their jobs. And dance classes is what keeps them sane. Like people like myself, yes, I've been dancing since I was 5. So if I go to a certain type of dance class, because I can't do every kind of dance, but if I go to, a Haitian dance class or some type of, stuff that I'm proficient in, I might make it look easy, but I've been doing it for years. Like Haitian dance, I've been studying for 10 years now. So, today when I see the pole instructor that I took class with, she was like a beast. And we're looking at her like, what are you made out of? Like, she was just so strong. Like, this move that I'm trying to do, and I feel like I'll never be able to do it. And I'm watching her just with ease. And I'm like, I asked her, how long has she been pole dancing? She told me 8 years. And I'm like, okay, now I don't feel bad. I had to put it in perspective. 8 years, 2.5 for me. So if you walk into a Congolese dance class, Congolese dance is super complicated with the footwork, the hips, and everything else. That's not something somebody gets on the first day. That's not something somebody gets in 2 years. Like, that's like a lifelong studying. Like, people grow up in that tradition, and it's refined movements, So pole dancing also makes women commit over time, because other issue I have as a trainer is a lot of people, they want like quick. They want to work out, they want to do 2 sessions, and they want a 6-pack. And people don't understand, like, putting in the work. Like, they'll look like Humpty Dumpty, and they want to have a body like Serena Williams, and then they want to do 2 workouts, and then they're upset because it didn't happen. And I'm like, a body like Serena Williams, that shit wasn't built overnight. That was years of training. I'm like, do you want to get up and run stairs, run 8 flights of stairs up and down 6 days a week for the next 6 years? Are you about that life? Are you going to do that? Most people don't want to work that hard. And they don't understand it's built over years. Like someone like myself, I don't have to work that hard to maintain my body, but that's because I've been an athlete and a dancer since I was a kid. I'm not as active as I used to be, but I'm still active, but I don't have to do a whole lot because I set that in place. That's the issue too with childhood obesity. It's just like you're setting it in place. If you're an obese child, it's probably hard to, almost even impossible to reverse that as an adult. So the work that you're putting in, it's over the years, so you have to have that long-term goal. You can't get discouraged, when it's hard and painful. And I feel like with pole, I've seen that, women break through that more than I have with anything else, any other physical activity. And it's actually like strong and doing something and expressing yourself. You see women who were never dancers, never athletes, come and just kill it, be amazing. And, like I'm down here in Maryland. I actually have an audition tomorrow at a studio down here to teach at. So I may be teaching down here soon. I shouldn't have mentioned it. But I may be doing some classes down here at a couple studios. But yeah, man, I don't know what to say. I love pole. If, the pole instructors that I've taken class with in many places, like there's a few ones who I didn't think were that great, or a few studios I didn't think were that great. But for the most part, all the teachers I've studied with, they're amazing at how they explain things and break things down. And to me, they have better knowledge of kinesiology and biomechanics than like the average fitness instructor. A lot of aerobics instructors are like really like, watered down knowledge. But with pole, there's a lot of physics, biomechanics, because if you approach the pole wrong, you can really hurt yourself. And you don't see a lot of injuries in pole. For as dangerous as the shit is, you don't see people bust their head open too much. I've never seen it. I've heard stories, but you don't see it that much. And it's because of how it's taught, progression. Just like when someone teaches gymnastics or they teach figure skating, like stuff like that, you really get proficient at small things before you do the bigger, more dangerous things, so you're less likely to get hurt. So, and most pole instructors are really well trained with spotting and teaching. So, to my ladies, I just want to say, if you were thinking about pole dancing, I don't care what your age is or what your size is or what your ability is, go ahead and do it. Don't be discouraged, because I can almost promise you that you will love the people in your class and you will love your teachers, and it will open up a whole new world for you, Lastly, I want to say I don't think poles are, the ultimate workout, because some people try to say that, oh, it's the only thing I do, it's the only thing I need to do. No, because you still need to work your legs. You gotta work these bad boys, which I'm about to do right now. I'm about to go hit the weight room and squat it out. And I hope you like this video. I'm doing it on the roof in Hyattsville, Maryland. So yeah, if you like this video, please join my page, please share it, and please check out my other videos. Okay, people, bye, have a great day.